Joshua, Elijah, and Martina continued to be exclusively best friends throughout the middle school years. It was like there was an impenetrable wall around them. No one could come in between them. No one could get their attention. In their deep self-absorption with each other, each found no need for anyone else's approval nor anyone else's attention. Bliss. There definitely was something really special about their bond. It was definitely not purely platonic, that was for sure, nor was it purely romantic. They had found this really neat 80-20 balance in their lives. 0, of course, 80% being platonic. But that 20% was causing such a tension in Elijah. His heart was torn and a deep confusion was settling into his heart. He lived a dual life. He had to hide everything from his parents and from everyone at church. Elijah, why is it that you never invite me over to your house? Are you kidding? My dad would kill me for even talking to a girl. The only girl they are okay with me talking to is Saint Mary. He burst out laughing, but there was a sharp sting in his heart. I loved talking with you, my sweet Elijah. His heart dropped. Mama, I am sorry. Elijah, are you okay? I lost you for a few seconds there. Yeah, I'm fine. It's nothing. Well, I don't understand why they wouldn't be happy for you. Are you kidding? Happy? I can't even talk to you on the phone. I tried once, and then my dad stood over me. Remember, I hung up in mid-sentence. His eyes bulged out of their sockets and hung up the phone. That's right. He hung up with his eyeballs. They burst out laughing. No, he didn't, my sweet Elijah. They spent the summer of their grade 9 year meeting up secretly in the park near his place. Elijah, of course, had to lie to his parents. I'm going to play basketball at the park. Okay, Habibi, who are you going to play with? I'm not sure. I'll go see who's there. Okay. Be home for 4 p.m. before your dad comes home. Okay, Mom. Although it was summer, his spirit felt like it was fall. I'm not that bad. It's not like I'm killing anyone. It's just a little lie, Elijah would tell himself. Of course, if he was honest with himself, he knew that he was changing. He knew things were not the way they were, but he simply brushed it off as growing up. I'm not a kid anymore. My sweet Elijah, I wish you were. Mama's voice in his heart was now a faint whisper, almost inaudible. The routine was simple. He would dial her number and hang up, and then he would call a second time and hang up again. To missed calls meant meet me at the park. He would love to push her on the swings. It was often in these moments that Martina felt the most free to ask and say anything that came to mind. The rhythmic swing almost put her in a state of complete abandon. Speaking to someone without looking them in the eyes made her feel like she could talk about absolutely anything. Elijah, who is your closest friend? You know that. Yeah, I just like hearing it. What do you imagine your future to be like? I don't know. When I was younger, I always wanted to be a shepherd in Ireland. I used to imagine rolling fields surrounded by beautiful forests. As you know, I love forests. I used to dream of the solitude. I know that is weird, right? Elijah, you are so weird, but I love it. I mean, I don't think I'll ever be a shepherd. I have no clue what my future will be like. My dad always told me that life was about getting as much as you can and becoming as powerful as you can. I mean, being a shepherd is not practical at all. How do you imagine your future to be like? I don't know. I just hope it is with you. He stopped the swing and hugged her from behind. He had never done this before. He became stiff. She didn't push him away. He kissed the side of her neck. She closed her eyes. He felt the entire world was somehow magically between his two arms. He became less stiff. He relaxed. He just held her. Time froze. The last few leaves of his innocence that were hanging on for dear life were slowly breaking free. You know it's fall when the leaves change their colors. And you know it's the end of fall when you find yourself completely naked, leaves strewn everywhere on the floor. Grade 10 started and Elijah and Martina had no classes together. Elijah was devastated, but he did recognize Joshua from his elementary school. He happened to be in 3 out of his 4 classes. Joshua remembered Elijah. "Great. Good to see you. Love your leather jacket. It's so cool." "Yeah." Joshua. Elijah pretended that he wasn't sure. "Tonight? I usually I am busy." "Oh yeah, please tell me you aren't still going to church every weekend." No. I'll check with my parents. They needed me for something. I'll check with them and get back to you." Elijah had no hope. Some things would never change. Friday nights were hymns class at church, Saturday night vespers, and Sunday morning liturgy. Strangely, even though he was now a deacon in the church and knew everything about the hymns and the liturgy, he felt bored at church. It was a matter of necessity. He had no choice, actually. He often would ask himself why he wasn't like all the other kids. Why can't I be normal and be free on weekends? Something about Joshua's swagger attracted Elijah. He was cool. "Come, your son wants to miss Friday night at church so he can go downtown with his friends. You talk to him." "I can't." And so began Elijah's second deep silence. This time it was a deep silence of the heart. He no longer could hear Mama's voice or any other voice for that matter. He had entered into winter. When he was younger, he had once felt bad for Joshua because he wondered how he lived without speaking to God or to Saint Mary. And now Elijah was completely severed from his own heart. He spoke to neither, nor did he want to. Exile. 2 flaming swords waved ceaselessly, banned access from the tree of life. This Joshua, like Joshua of old, somehow broke down the walls. This time it was of little Elijah's heart. Elijah wanted to be normal. No, he wanted to be cool. Martina, Joshua, and Elijah were now the new trio. They together plotted how they could liberate Elijah from the tyranny of his parents and his God. This they did because they cared for Elijah. Of course. "Oh my sweet Elijah." Elijah heard nothing.